Hey guys, so I wanted to come on here and do this little live stream. Hopefully you'll be able to see it. Let me double check, see where I'm at on this. But like I said, hopefully you guys will be able to see this. Yeah, you can see it. Oh, so, because I'm using my GoPro for the first time to record. But anyway, I wanted to come on here because, let's be honest. I'm sure a lot of us were not too thrilled with the results last night and early this morning with the elections. Now, I do apologize if I sound a little out of it. I did work today, so I'm just I'm just trying to get stuff out there for you guys. I also got myself a cup of coffee here, but. Anyway, like I said, I'm sure a lot of us are not too thrilled with the results from the election, last night, early this morning. And I don't think anybody can blame each other for that, because I think if you really get down to it, if you really want to be honest with yourself, the people to blame for this is the Democratic Party. That's pretty much what it is, because let's be totally honest here. Let's be totally transparent, trying to be fair in my own way. But let's be fair. Let's look at it from this perspective. Kamala Harris was handed a broken campaign. She was handed a broken campaign. End of story. She was handed a broken campaign, and there's nothing to really, there's nothing really you could say about it that's not true. She was handed a broken campaign, and the Dems and their allies, which do consist of some Republicans, some Democrats, and so on, they should be ashamed of themselves. They should. Because of the fact that all they had to do, in my opinion, it's their choice. It's their choice in everything, if you will. All they had to do, in my opinion, was basically, just me here, guys. Not trying to say anything else, but I think what they should have done, in my opinion, is the moment everybody started to notice, that decline right in front of our eyes during that first debate, between Trump and Biden. That's when they should have just conceived right there. They didn't have to go out and say, hey, we want to, bring Kamala into this. She's going to be our saving grace and all that. No. What they should have done, in my honest opinion, is they should have just, how do I put this? They should have just basically said, we're not going to win. We're not going to win, and we should just, pack it in right now and be done with it. That's all they needed to do. They just needed to conceive right then and there. Let Trump use the rest of the year to really, drive home why he's the best choice. And if you want to show that, hey, you are a fair party to everybody, that you're a fair party to everybody, that what you should do is let others, like those in the Green Party, the Independent Party, be the ones that go and compete against Trump, and then maybe try to persuade them to migrate over to your side. Thus, you could have an already established campaign, integrate and merge with your party, and you could have a new candidate that, is not being pushed in there and, literally handed on a silver platter an opportunity to become president when they haven't had the opportunity to really prep themselves, prepare themselves for whatever comes, for whatever, comes their way. They were, and that's pretty much what Kamala was put into. She was put into a situation to where she was not prepped. She was not prepared for any of this. Look, I'll give credit where credit is due. She tried her damnedest. She tried her damnedest to basically, win the people over. She tried her damnedest to, let people, not let people, but basically she tried her damnedest to win the American people over. She did. She tried her damnedest to win the people over. And, I don't blame her, for doing that. I really don't. I don't blame her for doing her damnedest to try to win the people over. It's just that she was handed a broken campaign. And, this is why I think, in my opinion, why she was very, I guess you could say, apprehensive is probably the word, to outright give an interview where she could just sit back, relax, be herself, and shoot the breeze, like what I'm doing with you guys right now. Just shoot the breeze, answer any and all questions that come her way. This is why I think she was very apprehensive, because she knew she was being given a broken campaign. And she knew that despite her damnedest to try to win the people over, that basically she knew she was doomed to fail. And that's a fact. We can agree and disagree all we want. We could agree and disagree all we want. I believe Kamala Harris knew she was doomed to fail. And everybody can come out and say, well, maybe this was all conspiracy to, get Biden out and put Kamala in, and thus she doesn't have to be voted in like a normal candidate should be. And if you feel that way, then you have a right to that opinion. I am not disagreeing with that. You have a right to your opinion on that. But if you really want to be honest with yourself, this is a woman who earlier today called Trump up, congratulated him, conceded the election to him, and all that, and promised to make the transition peaceful. And some, if not a majority of people, believe her. Her supporters believe her. There are people that supported Trump that believe her. There are those that supported other parties that believe her. And if she's willing, if you believe her, which a lot of people do, if she's willing to make that transition as smooth and peaceful as possible, then that tells you, in my opinion, that tells you she knew she was handed something unwinnable. And I guarantee you that when she was tasked to get a VP running mate, she wanted Shapiro in Pennsylvania. I guarantee you that's what she was going to go with, because she knew if she got Shapiro, that even on short notice, she would have probably won Pennsylvania and probably, in the process, made history by becoming the first woman president of ethnic background. Not just the first woman president, period, but the first woman president of ethnic background. She knew that if she would have chosen Shapiro in Pennsylvania, she would have had a chance. But did she do it? No. And why? Because those around her, those that basically put this on her, forced this on her, in my opinion, those that basically put her in this position basically were the ones controlling the whole situation. They're the ones that said, they're the ones that told her, choose Governor Walz of Minnesota to be your running mate. And I bet you she said, I can't do that because he has a reputation for allowing the capital of Minnesota, Minneapolis, to burn to the freaking ground. And you know what they said? I promise you, I guarantee you, they probably told her, if you don't choose him, we'll choose somebody else over you. I guarantee something like that went down. I guarantee it. That's why it shocked everybody, including the liberal Democratic cable news outlets and networks, when she chose Walz. I guarantee you something like that went down or similar to it. And those liberal and Democratic networks that supported her, let's not forget, they were in shock. They were surprised, like, wait a minute, why wouldn't you choose Shapiro? He's your best chance. All because of the fact that the people that put her in this position controlled every aspect of this. That is why she was hesitant, ladies and gentlemen. That is why she was hesitant to go and do these interviews like Trump would, or like any normal candidate would. Sit down, relax, be yourself. That's why she was hesitant. That's why she was apprehensive. When she did that interview on Fox, Fox is known to get answers, right? She was very apprehensive. Why? Because she was being asked questions she knew she had to answer, but she wasn't allowed to. This is why her and the Democratic Party lost the election. Because people saw that her running wasn't of her choice, like it was back in 2020. That was her choice then. This was not her choice. And everybody saw it. They saw once again that the Democrats and their allies, the left-wingers, the SJWs, the woke culture club, they were doing whatever they could to keep their power. And people said, not gonna happen. We may not like Trump. We may not care for Trump. We may not like the fact that he's done all these things that he has been outright accused of and has had evidence shown of him doing and such. From cheating on numerous wives to bankrupting several companies and all that he had, and so on, including the whole porn star situation. They're like, we may not like the fact that he's done all that he's been accused of, and here's some evidence to prove it, but we'd rather have him and his party in control than you Democrats, you independents, you left-wingers, all because you can't accept reality, that things are not going to go the way you want them to all the time, because certain things are not meant to go certain ways. And that's the fact. That is a fact, ladies and gentlemen, whether we want to accept it or not. That is a straight out fact. You can sit there at home listening to this, either live right now as I'm doing it, or, you can listen to it, post live later on. But the fact of the matter is this. Fact of the matter, truth be told, is this. Okay? Truth be told is this. Alright? Alright, truth be told is this. Okay? And by the way, if you want to donate, super chats are on. But anyway, like I said, truth be told is this. Okay? Whether you believe anything she says or not, she was handed a broken campaign. And like I said, all they had to do, all the Democrats had to do after that first debate with Biden and Trump, and when they saw the mess they were in, and then they saw how he was falling off slowly here and there, even with his State of the Union addresses, All they had to do was say, you know what? We're not going to win it this year. We're going to conceive right now. We're going to pull out. We're going to let Robert Kennedy and Jill Stein, we're going to let them run against Trump. And maybe if they run a good enough campaign, hey, maybe we could talk them into representing us come November. If they would have done that, instead of saying, here, Kamala, we're handing you the presidency. You don't have to be voted in either. Here you go. Here you go. If they would have done what I just said, they probably would have had a fighting chance. They probably would have won. And if Kamala would have done what I think she wanted to do, in my opinion, and that's have Shapiro instead of Waltz, she would have won. But that didn't happen. And I think, honestly, when people saw how Biden's his cognitiveness was failing, not just this year, but they took everything else that they saw in the past and like, wait a minute, something's a little off here. More worse than it was in previous years. It's worse now. And they saw it with their own eyes. And you have even the networks that defend the Democrats and liberals saying, yeah, this isn't a good sign. If the Democrats would have just conceived then and said, let the independents and the Green Party do the job, maybe we can convince one of them to represent us come November, they would have had a chance. If they would have let her pick Shapiro as a VP, they would have had a chance. But the moment they saw the cognitive mess that Biden was, worse than he ever was, worse than before, with that debate and afterwards, and then they see how apprehensive and how robotically repetitive she has been in her campaign speeches, campaign rally speeches, as well as in her interviews, and the way she got kind of into it almost with Fox News' Brett, whatever his name is. People could see right then and there, yeah, this Kamala Harris, this ain't her. She's being controlled. She's being told what to say and how to say it. She's not being allowed to be herself because, believe it or not, there's a lot of folks that voted for her, that support her, celebrities included, that would tell you straight to your face that she, Kamala Harris, has no problem doing an unscripted, sit down, cool your jets, straight shooting, chilling, interview or talk or discussion. She has no problem doing that. But yet, because she was handed a broken campaign, that could not be fixed, this is the result. And that's why everybody voted Republican. That's why everybody voted Republican, if not Republican independent, if not independent Green Party over Democrat. That's why the Senate is Republican owned now. This is why, the House is Republican owned now. Because people saw through the Democrats' lies. They saw through the left-wingers' lies. They saw through the extremist left-wingers' lies. The extreme SJWs, the extreme council cultures. They saw the extreme woke groups. They saw through the lies based on the fact that Kamala was given a broken campaign, and this is somebody that even when they supported her, knew she wasn't afraid to do unscripted interviews. Let me ask you this. Was she afraid to do unscripted interviews back in 2020? No. Even freaking Hillary Clinton did unscripted interviews when she was running against Donald. The point and the fact of the matter is this. Right? The point and the fact of the matter is this. She was given a broken campaign, and the Democrats and the liberal allies and Republican and some Republican allies, but basically the extreme left-wingers, extreme woke culture, wokers, culture, what is it, cultureness or whatever, SJW and everything. They have no one but themselves to blame because people saw through it. They saw through it. If they would have allowed her, like I said, they would have allowed her to do her own things, be her own person. Be her own person and everything. Go out and say, and say the stuff she wanted to say. If they would have just let her be herself, let her choose Shapiro in Pennsylvania, let her do these unscripted stuff, they would have had a chance to win. There's no doubt. But the moment she chose Waltz, that's when people knew she's not running, it's the Dems. She's not running, it's the woke, it's the, council culture. It's the woke club. It's the HWs. It's the extreme left liberals and Democrats and Republicans and independents. They're the ones running, not Kamala. She, just like people said Joe was, is a puppet. She's a puppet they are controlling. That is why I am happy, whether you believe a word or not, I am happy she is willing to accept defeat. She's willing, whether you believe a word she says or not, she's willing to make it a peaceful transition. Because I think, here's my honest opinion, I think she knows that 2020, and again, this is an opinion, but I think she believes, in my opinion, she believes 2020 was false. That her and Biden shouldn't have been in the position they were in because of what happened. Because of everything people said happened. The riggedness, the loss of ballots, the sudden surge of support for Biden. It's like, what's going on here? She, in my opinion, I believe, knew they didn't belong there. They shouldn't have been there. And yet they were. Now, people could say it was because it was a pandemic. It made things a lot easier for, the election to be rigged, if not manipulated, depending on what you believe, if you believe it or not. Because these were mail-in ballots or drop-off ballots. It's, I truly believe she knew. But she couldn't say anything. She couldn't say anything because the real person running the whole situation, Jill Biden and Nancy Pelosi, the real people, let's be honest, didn't want her saying anything. In fact, I think a lot of news outlets, Fox, CNN, MSNBC, Newsmax, I think they're all right. Yeah, because there were people on their outlets, the liberal Democratic ones, that basically said the same thing that Fox and Newsmax and others have said, especially in this last year of Joe's run. And that is, Jill loves being president. And if that's the case, let me ask you this. If Jill likes being president, why not choose her? You know why? Because they knew that she would get annihilated. She would get annihilated. She would get creamed. She would get, basically embarrassed worse than Harris in the polls. Now you could say, well, if Nancy's also behind it or was behind it, why not choose her? Same reasoning. Nancy would have gotten creamed even worse than both Harris and Jill. To me, I feel like this. I feel this. Okay? To me, this is what it's all about. Nancy Pelosi is the one that people are going to point the fingers to, especially now. Looking back 4 years ago, especially now with Trump winning the way he did, despite how you feel about it, whether you love Trump or you don't, or you're indifferent, people are going to look back now and go like, wait a minute. Pelosi is the one that was in charge of preventing what happened on January 6th from happening. And there's eyewitness video account and vocal account and all that. That, she was responsible for preventing that from happening. People are going to look back now and they're going to be like, I wonder if she knew, or she knew, not only knew, but if she was responsible for the election going the way it did. and not letting the truth come out. Because Nancy has always had it out for Trump. Okay? She's had it out for anybody like him. Especially if they don't see things her way. And you know what? I hope and pray that the first thing Trump does, whether you like this guy or not, I hope the first thing he says on his day of inauguration and being sworn back in, I hope he gets on that mic, calls out Nancy Pelosi and says, Nancy Pelosi, you're fired. And basically gets her out of Washington for good. Because people, again, they're going to look and they're going to be like, I wonder if she knew. Or I wonder if she was the one responsible. Because Nancy, and I say it with all due respect, has been wanting a female president in there. That's why she was House Speaker for so long, because she was probably hoping that whoever the vice president and president were, above her, something would either happen to them or they'd be impeached. That way she gets an easy way to the presidency. And look, I have nothing against a woman president. Heck, for all we know, in 2028, Kamala might do it. And if she does, though, she's going to do it by learning from her mistakes. That's what's going to happen. If she runs again in 2028, whether it's against, Donald Trump Jr., Eric Trump, whether it's against J.D. Vance, whoever, if she wins, it's going to be because she's learned from her mistakes. She's going to tell the Democratic Party, I'm going to do it my way. I'm going to do these, if I do an interview, I'm going to do it unscripted. I'm going to answer any and all questions. And I'm going to choose who I want as my VP, my running mate. I think that's what's going to happen. Because I look at this woman. And whether you like her or not, whether you like her giggling and all that, whether you like it or not, I look at this woman and I look at someone that will learn from their mistakes. They will learn from their mistakes and realize to succeed, they got to go and do things that people wouldn't think they're going to do to succeed. And I think that's what's going to happen. I really do. I really do. But I do believe also, if it's not her, we will get a woman president. We will. You know that one girl that ran this year? That came close to battling it out with Trump for the Republican nomination? She might do it. Yeah, she might do it. And I wouldn't be surprised if she does. Because she feels like she's the best shot, Republican-wise, or any party-wise, outside of Kamala, that this country has of making history and getting our first woman president. So, I believe we're going to get it, and it might be 2028. 2028 might be that year. It might be. I feel it's going to. I feel it's going to be. But again, it's just my opinion. It's just my opinion on the fact that I feel that's what's going to happen. And you guys can agree with it or not. It's a fact. I'm just checking the status of the live stream, and it's going real good for the first time using my GoPro doing this. But yeah, in my opinion, we will get a woman president, and 2028 might be that year. But we gotta be patient, and we gotta wait. Now, in the next 2 years, the Senate and the House may get even. They may stay all red. They may go all blue. We don't know. But within those 2 years, though, we'll have to see whether or not they're going to do everything they say they're going to do and fix this country along with DT. And that's about it. But at the end of the day, guys, in closing, I know I'm sounding repetitive. Let's be honest. Even on short notice, could she have won? Yes. Yeah, she could have won. But let's all agree, she was handed a broken campaign that was not salvageable from the start. And the Democrats and the allies of extreme left wing extreme left wing, extreme cancel culture, woke, SJWs, and so on. Even those that of, Republican Party, Independent, and Green Party that side with them, they have no one but themselves to blame. No one but themselves to blame. And all I could say for someone like Nancy Pelosi, I hope she's ready to eat a big, big, big bowl of crow. I hope she's ready. And I hope she's ready to be humiliated, and humbled on the inauguration day. I hope she is. Because I believe he might just say those words, that he's infamous for when it comes to, let's say, The Apprentice show. I've got a feeling he's going to tell Nancy Pelosi, you're fired. He's going to tell, maybe with some respect to Kamala and Joe Biden, you did what you could, but it wasn't good enough, you're fired. We'll see. We'll see. But, guys, whether you like it or not, he is back. Trump is back for another 4 years. And if he does what he says he's going to do, and he's proven in the past he will, if he does this, then I guarantee you things are going to change. And it's not just going to change for the Republican Party, the Independent Party, the Green Party, or the Liberal Party. It's going to change for the Democrats. The Democrats that are there, in the House and the Senate, and those that are positioning themselves for 2028, they're going to see what happened here, and they're going to be like, you know what? We need to take pages out of their playbook and make it our own and see if that helps us in 2028. Because I guarantee you, there are several Democrats right now outside of Kamala Harris that will want to become president. One of them right now currently runs all state of California, and that's Newsom. Newsom, and here's what's crazy. Newsom's term may be up in 2 years. And I think it might be, and I think, in fact, I think it will be. But you can't tell me he's not going to want to, sit out in the cold or be on the outside looking in. He's going to want to crave having that kind of power again. And what bigger prize to kind of have that same kind of power than becoming president or vice president? We'll have to see. But yeah, there's going to be a lot of Democrats that are going to be clamoring to run against Kamala in 2028, and even clamoring that if they don't succeed against her, to be her VP. And there's going to be a lot of Republicans that are going to be clamoring to run against whoever the Democratic nominee is, or the most strongest candidate there. J.D. Vance, Eric Trump, Donald Trump Jr., and so on. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun to see. It's going to be fun to see. I can tell you that right now. But in the end, the Democrats, the extreme council culture, left-wing SJW woke allies of the party of some of the Republican, Independent, and Green parties, they have no one but themselves to blame. Because they handed Kamala Harris a broken campaign, and all they had to do to avoid this kind of destruction is either let her be herself and do the unscripted interviews, let her choose her own VP instead of controlling it all, or they should have just conceded right after that embarrassing stumbling of Biden in that debate, and even afterwards. Just concede there, let the Independents and Green Party take it from there, and then maybe try to convince one of them to side with them and represent them. Because you already would have had an established campaign going on, and now you're integrating yourself into it, and maybe you might have found success. We don't know. But that's all I'm going to say, guys, on this. Oh my God. That's all I'm going to say on this, guys. Let me see if you can still see me. Something happened here. Hold on. Something happened. Okay. It's just I lost Bluetooth connection. But yeah, guys, let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know what your thoughts are on all this in the comments. Thank you to those that did show up in the live stream. Really appreciate it. To Ryan Jones, Larifa, Peace, Love, Vanessa. Thank you guys for joining me in the live chat for this. But yeah, guys, like I said, they have no one but themselves to blame. That being the Democrats. Because again, all they had to do was let her basically just let Kamala be herself, even handing her this broken campaign, be herself, let her do the unscripted interviews, let her choose her own VP, let her do her things her way, and go from there. But they didn't let her do that. They had to control it all because they were the ones that were running, not her. And if not that, they should have just conceived after the stumbling block of that first debate, which they asked for, and as well as what happened afterwards, and just allowed the independents in the Green Party, like Kennedy and Stein, to take it from there. And then maybe, after seeing the success they might be having, convince them to side with them and become part and represent them, and come this month, come yesterday. But that's all I'm going to say, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are overall in the comments. Again, thank you to those that joined me in the live chat. Like I said, guys, if I sound a little out of it, I'm tired. I worked today, went in a little before 6. Supposedly, I had to work at 5, but, due to the circumstances that I'm in, I had to let them know it's only going to be a little before 6, because if I go beyond 6, I don't get that $2 plus incentive to my paycheck, which makes it 17 to 19. But guys, again, let me know what your thoughts are overall. Love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Again, thank you to those in the live chat. And you know where to find me. Links in the description to all the content. Check out my Teespring store for merchandise you can't get anywhere else. Check me on Twitter at BWRoses. Follow me there. Also, check me out at divanart.com at BVW1979. Also, check me out at all your favorite podcast outlets, as well as at rumble.com and at VENMO.com and Odyssey. But guys, and kick.com as well. I also got an account over at Twitch as we speak. But guys, let me know what your thoughts are. Love to hear from all of you on this. Do you think I'm correct in what I'm saying? And